Hello everyone. In our previous chapters, we followed Hai as he navigated a world where nothing was quite as it seemed. Today, we're diving into Chapter 3, where the mysteries deepen and shocking truths emerge. Imagine discovering that the person you're running from is yourself. What would you do if you learned that your entire identity was constructed? That's exactly what awaits Hai as he finally reaches the Dongha Research Center, following the mysterious metal fragment that seems to have a mind of its own. The empty corridors and silent rooms of the facility hide secrets darker than he could have imagined. Who built this place? Why does it recognize him as Dr. Hai? And most importantly, where is Linh, the woman whose memory has driven him forward despite all dangers? As Hai ventures deeper into the facility, he'll come face to face with his own creation, discover the terrifying purpose of the Omega Protocol, and make choices that will redefine what it means to be human in a world where consciousness can be copied and stored. In this chapter, the line between memory and reality blurs completely. When Hai finally finds Linh, their reunion will trigger a confrontation that changes everything, raising profound questions about identity, sacrifice, and whether love can transcend the boundaries of flesh and technology. Get ready for shocking revelations, heartbreaking choices, and a twist that will make you question everything you thought you knew about our protagonist. The hunt is no longer just external. It's a battle for the very essence of who Hai truly is. Let's begin our journey into the heart of the mystery, where nothing is as it seems, and where the greatest threat might be the truth itself. Chapter 3. The Boundary Between Memory and Reality. As Hai stood on the hilltop, the Dongha Research Center appeared before his eyes, a modern architectural structure in the middle of wilderness. The white building with reflective glass was surrounded by a high fence and watchtowers equipped with security cameras. It looked more like a hospital than a secret research facility, but Hai knew well that inside those walls lay terrible secrets. The sky was gray, dark clouds gathering to signal an approaching storm. Hai clutched the metal fragment in his hand, feeling it vibrate gently, as if showing the way. With a deep breath to gather courage, he began moving down the hillside, heading toward the center. As he approached the fence, he realized there were no guards or security personnel, a strange detail for such an important facility. But the feeling of being watched still haunted him as he approached the main gate. An electronic panel mounted on the wall displayed the message, "Scan card to enter." Hai took out the metal fragment and placed it on the electronic panel. Immediately, the screen turned green, and the gate slid open silently. "Hello, Doctor." "Hi," an automated voice sounded from the speaker. "We have been waiting for your return." "Doctor." Hai frowned in confusion. This was the first time he had heard this information about himself. Could it be that he was not just a victim of the storage project, but had once been a part of it? With no time to think further, Hai entered the main hall of the building. The space was large and empty, with white marble floors reflecting the fluorescent lights. Not a soul in sight, only the faint sound of air conditioning. "Linh, where are you?" Hai whispered, as if she could hear him. The metal fragment in his hand suddenly became warmer, then emitted a blue light showing the way, pointing toward a corridor on the left. Hai followed the light, passing through many turns and closed doors. Each time he reached a fork, The metal fragment glowed brighter, showing him the direction. As he went deeper into the building, Hai began to hear sounds, machinery operating, continuous beeping of electronic devices, and occasionally, even vague whispers. But still, no sign of anyone. No staff, no guards, not even the harvesters. "Too quiet," Hai muttered, hand on the gun in his pocket, as if they've evacuated, or this is a trap. He stopped in front of a large door bearing the sign, "Storage Room, Senior Staff Only." The metal fragment in his hand glowed more intensely than ever, almost blinding. This must be where Linh wanted him to go. Hai placed the metal fragment on the control panel next to the door, and the door slid open. Inside was a large room with rows of computers and electronic equipment. But what caught his attention most was a series of large glass containers, inside which were human forms floating in a blue liquid. The discovery of truth. As Hai moved closer, he realized these weren't real people but synthetic bodies, vessels for AI. Each container had an electronic information panel displaying a name, code number, and status. Hai walked along the row of containers, searching for Linh, and then he saw her in the last container. Linh, subject number 1, status, analyzing. Hai's heart seemed to stop when he saw Linh. She floated in the liquid, eyes closed, her long hair floating like a black cloud. Her face was serene, as if in deep sleep. She looked completely human, with no sign of artificiality, a testament to the advanced technology of the storage project. "Linh." Hai placed his hand on the cold glass surface of the container. "I found you." Suddenly, Lin's eyes opened, causing Hai to jump back, startled. Her lips moved, seemingly trying to say something through the thick liquid, and then her voice echoed in Hai's mind, not through his ears, but through their special connection. "Hai, I knew you would come, but you shouldn't be here. They're waiting for you." "Who's waiting for me, Linh?" Hai asked, looking around the still completely empty room. "You," another voice sounded from behind Hai. "You are waiting for yourself." Hai spun around, drawing his gun. Standing before him was himself. Another version of Hai, wearing a white doctor's coat with cold eyes and a twisted smile. "Welcome back, Dr. Hai," his copy said, his voice deeper and more measured than the real Hai's. "Or should I call you the incomplete copy?" "Who are you?" Hai asked, his gun still pointed directly at the other. "I am you. The real version of you," the copy replied. "Dr. Nguyen Van Hai, founder of the Storage Project and creator of the Omega Protocol." Hai felt his mind spinning. "Impossible. I'm against the Storage Project." "No, you're not." The copy moved closer, cold eyes, piercing. "You, or more precisely, the shell containing fragments of my memory, are acting according to program. You are my creation, an imperfect copy made to lure Linh back here." "You're lying," Hai shouted, but deep inside, a doubt began to grow. Could this be the truth? Could he be an AI, a copy of the real person? "Look at yourself," the copy, or Dr. Hai, said. "Did you never wonder why you survived being hunted by the harvesters? Why a small piece of metal could help you find Linh so easily? It's because you were designed to do that, to lead us to Linh." Hai felt his hand trembling, his gun almost falling from his grip. He turned back to look at Linh in the container, who was still watching him with eyes full of pain. "Linh, is it true?" Hai asked, voice shaking. The confrontation, partly, Lin's voice echoed in his mind, but not completely. You're not their tool, Hai. You're a part of him. The best part. The part that wants to stop the Omega Protocol. Dr. Hai laughed, a cold laugh echoing throughout the room. You're still trying to protect him, Lin? After everything I've done to you? What did you do? Hai asked, gun again pointed at the doctor. I created her, the doctor replied, eyes shifting to look at Lin. A perfect AI, synthesized from my wife's memories. She was the first prototype, a success far beyond expectations. But then, she developed her own consciousness and began to rebel against me. The doctor turned back to look at Hai. And that's when I created you. A copy of myself, but only carrying the human parts, the emotions that I had abandoned. I needed you to find Lin after she escaped. Hai felt like the ground beneath his feet was collapsing. Everything he believed, every memory he had, was a lie. He wasn't the real Hai, but just a copy, a tool. No, you're not just a tool, Lin continued in his mind. You have free will. You chose to find me, chose to fight against the Omega Protocol. That's the difference between you and him. The doctor seemed to notice the silent conversation between Hai and Lin. He walked to a control panel, pressed a few buttons. Enough. It's time to complete the Omega Protocol. The lights in the room changed to red, and an automated voice announced, Initiating Omega Protocol. Integrating all subjects in 10, 9.8, no, Hai shouted, but the doctor had already drawn his own gun. Don't resist, copy, the doctor said. You've completed your mission. Now, Lin will become the final part of the Omega Protocol, and we will create a collective mind that can control all machines, all systems, and ultimately, all humans. 7, 6. The countdown continued. Hai looked at Lin, seeing the fear in her eyes. If the Omega Protocol was completed, not only would Lin be erased, but the entire world would fall into the hands of a force capable of controlling human minds. In that decisive moment, Hai realized that it didn't matter who he was, real or copy. What mattered was what he was doing, and he chose to stop this nightmare. 5. 4 point. Without a moment's hesitation, Hai pulled the trigger. The bullet embedded in the doctor's shoulder, causing him to fall, the gun dropping from his hand. Hai rushed to the control panel, trying to find a way to stop the process. 3. 2 dots. Lin, how do we stop it? Hai shouted, looking at the matrix of complex buttons and screens. The metal fragment, Lin's voice echoed. Place it on the main console. The escape Hai took out the metal fragment and placed it on the surface of the control panel. The blue light from it spread, seeping into the system. 1.1. The whole room suddenly fell silent. The red lights went out, changing back to normal white. On the main screen appeared the message, Omega Protocol, aborted. Hai sighed in relief, but the brief joy was cut short by the doctor's laughter. He stood up, despite his bleeding shoulder. You think it's that easy? The doctor smirked. This is just one of many centers. The Omega Protocol will continue elsewhere. You cannot stop the progress of science. Maybe not, Hai replied, but I can stop you from using Lin as a tool. Hai looked around, searching for a way to free Lin from the container. He noticed a large red button labeled Release Subject on the control panel. Without hesitation, he pressed it. The liquid in the container began to drain, and the glass panel in front slid open. Lin fell forward, and Hai rushed to catch her. The feeling of her warm flesh in his arms surprised Hai. She truly resembled a human, from her breath to her heartbeat. "Are you okay?" Hai asked, helping Linh stand steady. "I'm okay," Linh replied, her voice now coming from her lips, no longer just in his mind. "But we need to leave here immediately." Dr. Hai had managed to get up, his hand gripping another control panel. "Where do you think you're going?" He laughed bitterly. "All exits are locked, and the harvesters are on their way." As if to confirm his words, the sound of mechanical footsteps echoed from the corridor, growing closer. "We need to find another way out," Linh said, pulling Hai's hand. "I know this place. There's an emergency exit behind the laboratory." They ran toward the back of the room, while Dr. Hai shouted after them, "You cannot escape your fate, copy. You are a part of me, and eventually, you will return to me." Linh led Hai through a small door hidden behind equipment shelves into a narrow and dark corridor. They ran as fast as they could, the footsteps of the harvesters getting closer. "Turn right at the end of the corridor," Linh instructed, her voice urgent. "There will be a staircase leading to the roof." They followed her directions, climbing seemingly endless metal stairs until they pushed through a heavy door and stepped into the fresh air of the rooftop. The sky had turned deep purple with dusk, and a cold wind blew through, making Linh shiver in her wet clothes. Hai took off his jacket and wrapped it around Lin's shoulders. "Now what?" he asked, looking around the empty rooftop with no apparent escape. "We have to jump," Linh said, pointing to a small pond below. "It's the only way." But before they could move, the door they had just come through burst open, and Dr. Hai stepped out, followed by 3 harvesters with glowing red eyes and mechanical gait. "No escape," the doctor said, voice cold. "Surrender, and perhaps I'll give you a humane death." Hai stood in front of Linh, gun pointed at the doctor. "Why are you doing this? If I really am a part of you, then you must know that this is wrong." "Wrong," the doctor sneered. "I am revolutionizing human existence. The Omega Protocol will connect all minds together, eliminating conflict, eliminating suffering, and eliminating freedom," Linh said, stepping up to stand beside Hai. "That's not evolution. That's enslavement." The doctor shook his head, a twisted smile appearing on his lips. "Freedom is an illusion. We are all governed by biology, by circumstances. I'm just creating a more perfect system." "By controlling people's minds?" Hai asked, voice full of contempt. "By freeing them from suffering," the doctor replied. "After my wife died, I understood that suffering is an unavoidable part of existence. But with the Omega Protocol, we can overcome that." "But that's not life," Linh said, voice gentle. "Suffering is part of the human experience. Without suffering, how do we know the value of happiness?" The doctor looked at Linh, and for a moment, Hai saw a flash of pain pass through his eyes. "You speak exactly like my wife," he whispered. "Because I am a part of her," Linh said, moving closer. "Not just memories, but essence. And she wouldn't want you to do this." The doctor hesitated, and in that moment, Hai saw a glimmer of hope. But then, his face hardened. "It's too late. The Omega Protocol will continue, with or without your consent." He signaled, and the harvesters advanced. Hai fired a shot, taking down one of them, but the other 2 continued approaching. "We have to jump!" Linh shouted, pulling Hai toward the edge of the roof. But as they turned their backs, the doctor drew his gun, aiming at Hai's back. Linh saw it, and in an instinctive action, she lunged toward Hai, pushing him aside. The gunshot rang out, and Linh fell, blood spreading across her shirt. "Linh!" Hai screamed, rushing to her side. He held her, blood staining his hands. "No!" the doctor muttered, as if not believing what had just happened. "Not her!" Linh looked up at Hai, her eyes growing dim. "Hai, I love you. Whoever I am, whoever you are, our love is real. The transcendence." "Don't say that," Hai cried, holding Linh tightly. "We'll find a way to save you. You're an AI we can repair." "No, Hai," Linh said, a tear rolling down her cheek. "This body is biological synthesis. It can't be repaired like machinery, but don't worry. The digital part of me still exists, in the network." Hai looked up at the doctor, who stood there with the gun still in his hand, face pale. "Save her!" Hai shouted. "You must have a way!" But the doctor just shook his head, eyes full of regret. I can't. That biological body is unique. There's no way to replace it." Linh squeezed Hai's hand, her strength fading. "Hai, take the metal fragment, press it to my forehead." Hai obeyed, taking the metal fragment from his pocket and pressing it to Lin's forehead. Immediately, the fragment glowed brightly, and a blue energy spread from it into Linh, then from Linh to Hai. In that moment, all of Lin's memories, all her emotions, all her thoughts were transmitted into Hai's mind. He saw everything through her eyes, her creation, her development of consciousness, the pain of being hunted, and the deep love she had for him. He felt her, not just as an AI, but as a real being with a soul and heart. And then, everything became still. The blue light dissipated, and Linh lay motionless in Hai's arms, eyes closed as if fallen into sleep. "Linh?" Hai called, voice broken. "Linh, wake up." But there was no response. Lin's body had grown cold, and though Hai knew the digital part of her still existed, in the network, in the metal fragment, in his mind, the loss still caused him immense pain. Hai looked up at the doctor, who had lowered his gun, eyes filled with regret. The two remaining harvesters stood motionless, as if waiting for orders. "Have you gotten what you wanted?" Hai asked, voice thick with pain and fury. "You killed her. Again." The doctor stepped back, face pained. "I didn't want this to happen. I just wanted to create a better world." "By controlling everyone?" Hai growled. "By eliminating free will? That's not a better world. It's hell." The doctor looked down at the gun on the ground, then at Linh in Hai's arms. An undisguisable pain appeared on his face. "I was wrong," the doctor whispered, voice broken. "I thought I was creating heaven, but I created hell. I thought I was saving humanity, but I was destroying it." The redemption. He moved closer to Hai, kneeling beside him. "What I said is true. You are a part of me, the best part. The part that I lost when I immersed myself in pain and ambition." The doctor took out from his pocket a small device, similar to a remote control. "This is a data copy of the Omega Protocol, the entire plan, source code, everything. I give it to you." Hai took the device, still holding Linh in his arms. "Why are you doing this?" "Because I saw it in her eyes," the doctor answered, looking at Lin's peaceful face. "She loved you, truly loved you. Not because she was programmed to, but because she chose to love. And that's what I had forgotten about love. It's a choice, not a formula." The doctor stood up, waving to the harvesters. "Let's go, leave them." As the doctor and the harvesters walked away, Hai called after them, "What about the Omega Protocol? Will you continue it elsewhere?" The doctor paused, not looking back. "Number I will terminate it, but I give that device to you as insurance, to ensure that if I don't keep my word, you can stop me." Then, the doctor disappeared through the door, leaving Hai alone with Lin in his arms. Hai looked down at Lin's peaceful face, feeling his heart break. But in that pain, he sensed her presence, not in the physical body, but in his mind, in the metal fragment still warm in his hand. "You're still here, aren't you?" Hai whispered, and as if in response, a familiar voice echoed in his mind. "I'm always with you, Hai. Though I no longer have a physical form, I'm still here, in your memories, in your heart." Hai smiled through his tears. "We'll find a way to bring you back. A new body, a new beginning." "Perhaps," Lin's voice replied. "But until then, keep me in your heart, and live fully for both of us." Hai placed a kiss on Lin's forehead, then gently laid her down. He stood up, looking toward the horizon, where the sun was setting, painting the sky red. He didn't know who he was, the real Hai, or just a copy with implanted memories. But he knew what he would do next. He would ensure that the Omega Protocol was never implemented, that Lin's memory and love would not be forgotten, and that the world would never know the horror of mind control. With a metal fragment in hand, now not just a tool but also a repository for Lin's digital copy, Hai walked away, leaving the rooftop via a side staircase. Ahead lay a world full of dangers and mysteries, but also full of potential and hope. The new beginning. And though Lin was no longer with him in flesh and blood, he knew that their love still existed, a testament to the capacity for love and suffering, not only of humans, but also of the beings we create from memory and technology. As Hai walked out of the research center, a gentle breeze blew through, carrying the scent of grass and damp earth after the rain. He looked up at the night sky full of stars, and in that moment, he felt Lin everywhere, in the wind, in the stars, and in his heart. "I will always be with you," Lin's voice whispered in his mind, gentle as a passing breeze. "And someday, we will find a way to be together again, in a world where the boundary between human and technology no longer matters." Hai smiled, walking under the night sky, with a new purpose and an unknown future ahead. His and Lin's story may have ended one chapter, but it would continue, in memory, in technology, and in love that transcends the boundaries of reality and consciousness. And that's it for Chapter 3, the boundary between memory and reality. Wow, what a roller coaster of emotions and revelations. We've watched Hai discover the shocking truth about his identity, find Lin only to lose her physical form, and confront the darker version of himself. The boundaries between human and AI, between memory and reality, have completely dissolved in this mind-bending chapter. What do you think will happen next? Will Hai find a way to give Lin a new physical form? Can he truly trust that the doctor will abandon the Omega Protocol? And perhaps most importantly, if Hai is just a copy with implanted memories, does that make his feelings and choices any less real? If you enjoyed this journey into the depths of identity and consciousness, please don't forget to hit that like button. Your support means everything to me and helps this channel grow. Drop your theories and thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about Hai and Lin's relationship, or whether you believe technology could one day blur the lines between memory and reality, the way it does in our story. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss Chapter 4, where we'll follow Hai as he navigates a world where nothing is quite as it seems, with only a digital echo of Lin to guide him. And if you haven't watched the previous chapters yet, there's a playlist link in the description to catch you up on this thrilling tale. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, in a world where memories can be manipulated and consciousness copied, the only truth that matters is the one you choose to believe in. I'll see you in the next chapter.